And we're back with Despina Priala from boutique law firm Priala Legal. And for this second segment, we're talking about a Miami takeaway business owner. She has hit headlines in the GC Bulletin saying that she's wanting to shut up shop completely. But it sparks a few questions. Despina, can you talk us through this story here?
I suppose, yes. Well, I'd like to, because it's within the same vein of what we just talked about, which is, buyer beware, doing your due diligence, getting proper legal representation without any particular blame, I suppose, on the people involved. But look, this woman bought a business called Coast Roast and Fry at Miami. And now, after 15 months of trading, she wants out. Now, in the article, she talks about saturated markets and competition within closed doors. And, oh, by the way, the Gold Coast Rail project also has thrown a spanner in the works for her trading. Her business is going down. She now wants to shut up. Help me, help me. Look, when you buy a business, okay, any business, whether it's a cafe, childcare centre, or whatever it is, there are risks involved and you need to do your due diligence. You should never sign a business contract that is unconditional. And you really need to get advice, not only just on the legal aspects. You've got to get financial advice from your accountant. Can I afford to go into business? And look at the potential profitability, look at all your costs and expenses, which can be calculated to a certain degree, and do commercial due diligence. Now, your lawyer involved will do the legal due diligence, will do some of the commercial due diligence, but the financial, you need to go and get that advice, particularly if it's a retail shop, which this would have been. So I don't know whether this woman obtained that, but, issues like, does the Gold Coast Light Rail project affect my business? Well, everybody's known about the Gold Coast Light Rail. It's been around for a long time. Stage 3 is coming into place. That was announced last year. So if you're in that corridor from Broadbeach, I think it is, down to Burleigh or beyond, and you're in that main, on the highway there, then be aware if you're buying a business, yes, the Gold Coast Light Rail is coming in, and that should have been looked at properly, as she actually admitted in the story headline. Competition a few doors down. Well, obviously, if you're buying a business, look around at who's there. Talk to the agents. Is this closing down? Is there a new place coming up? I mean, you're never going to get exclusive use. If you buy a coffee shop or a cafe takeaway, you can never be guaranteed that next door won't, open up another place right next to you. You've got to take that into account when you're thinking about buying a business. There are risks. But look, with searches too, when people buy businesses, whether it's 50,000 or 500,000 or beyond, you've got to spend money on proper legal representation. I keep harping on about that. But when we act for clients, when they're buying a business, we do a truckload of searches, and not to just, have the client pay unnecessary monies. These are required searches that have to be done. There are a multitude of searches. You've got e-court searches, you've got company searches, you've got security searches, you've got ACCC public register searches, you've got business name register searches, you've got plant and equipment searches, you've got council permit searches, licenses. Is there liquor sold? Liquor licensing searches. There's a whole truckload. Main road searches. Is there resumptions in the area that's earmarked? Noise corridor searches. So there's a whole bunch of things that have to be done when you're buying businesses, and you've got to get that proper advice.
So do you think that part of the problem here is that people are trying to cut corners? They're trying to save a bit of money on their legal fees? Is that part of the deal?
I think that is, and it is, you get what you pay for very much. But if you're spending money on a business, it's not just, okay, well, this business is going to cost me 50,000. That's all. No, you're going to have to sign a lease, commit yourself to the landlord. Have you done the figures? Have you looked at what it looks like for you for a 3-year lease? How much money am I going to be paying in leases, increases in rent, outgoings? Have I calculated that? Have I got financial advice? Can I afford the lease payments and outgoings payment alone, in addition to, yes, staff, wages, a whole bunch of other things, right? Plant and equipment. Am I buying it? Is it new or is it old? Do I have to refurbish? A whole bunch of stuff. So that's why you need to have proper representation when you're buying a business: legal, financial, commercial. It's all fine.
But it sounds so much fun to just operate a cafe every day and having just be surrounded by people drinking coffee. How much fun is that?
Doesn't it? Everybody thinks they can come to the Gold Coast. You know what? I'm going to change my life and open up a cafe. It's going to be so much fun, and it's easy peasy. It is definitely not.
And that's the reason why we wanted to mention it quickly, because Despina, I know in your professional experience, we've heard and seen time and time again that people have this really lovely idea, but owning a business is bloody hard. Excuse my language, but it is, and you've seen that. So some handy information there from Despina Priala from boutique law firm Priala Legal. As always, if anyone wants to get in touch with you directly, where can they go?
So they can phone the office 55291294, or they can email info@prialalegal.com.au, and then all my segments are up on my YouTube channel as well, which can be viewed anytime.
Yes, just search Priala Legal, Priala. Thank you so much, Despina and Wayne.
And we'll do it all again next week.
See you then, guys.
Are you confused about legal jargon? Do you need legal advice but don't know where to turn? Tune in to Talking Law with Despina Priala every Thursday morning at 8:30 on Radio 97. Despina, a leading lawyer with over 20 years of experience, will demystify the law and provide practical advice to help you navigate legal issues. Whether it's a family matter, a property dispute, or a business concern, Talking Law has got you covered. Don't miss out on this valuable resource. Tune in to Talking Law with Despina Priala every Thursday morning at 8:30 on Radio 97.